What's up, 8th grade? Catlin here with your homework video for lesson number 20. We actually skipped 18 and 19. I'm doing a little bit out of order. So we're actually on the back of your homework page. We'll come back and we'll do 18 tomorrow as we finish up the week. Okay, so we talked about spheres today. We derived the formula. And really, if you didn't follow how we got that formula, that's not the end of the world. The fact is you need to know how to use it. So let's just do a real quick recap of the formulas that we've done so far. So we've done a cylinder, which is its volume is pi times the radius squared times the height. So that's for a cylinder. We've also done a cone, which is not much different. The relationship is it takes 3 of those to fill that. So you just add a 1/3 in the front of that formula, a third pi times radius squared times h. And we found out today that the volume of a cylinder is the one that they're showing here. I'm sorry, a sphere is the one that they're showing right here. So here's the sphere. Here's the volume formula that we found today. 4/3 pi r cubed, not squared. 4/3 and cubed. That's the big difference between this one is it has a weird fraction at the beginning, and your r is not being squared like it has been before. It's being cubed because it is the cubic unit. All right. So let's look at this one. We have a sphere that has a radius of 4 feet, and it wants us to use the formula here to find out what its volume is, and we're going to express our answer in terms of pi. So we're not going to multiply by pi. We're just going to leave it in those terms. So we don't have to really need a calculator for this one. So I'm going to copy down the formula. I've got 4/3 as my first part of the volume. I've got the expression part of pi, and our radius is going to get cubed. And in this particular problem, 4 is our radius. So let's replace the r with a 4. So 4/3. Pi is going to stay put. The radius is 4. So I'm going to plug in 4 there. And we're going to take it to the third power. And then the rest of it's just, following your order of operations. You definitely want to do your exponent before you multiply by 4/3. So you got to do 4 times 4 times 4, which would be a nice thing to have your calculator for. 4 to the third power is the same as 64. So 64 is the 4 to the third power amount. Oh, pulled up the wrong one there. Let me go back. 4 to the third power is 64, and we still got a 4/3 pi in there getting multiplied. Sorry, my pi looks like a crazy symbol. Let me go back and fix that. Sorry. Erase, and 4/3 times pi. Let's try that one more time. There it is. So 4/3 pi times 64. Now, we're leaving pi there, so we really just want to do 4/3 times 64. So I've already got 64 on my screen. So I'm just going to take that and multiply it by the 4/3. So divide by 4/3, and that gives me our answer, which is going to be 85 and 3/10 repeating. If you don't like the decimal version there, you want to leave it in fraction, you can convert it to 256/3. I'm really cool either way. I'm probably just going to say 85 and a third because I know that 0.3 repeating is a third. So I'm going to write 85 and 1/3. 85 and 1/3 pi. Or if you want to stick with your decimals, I know a lot of you guys love your decimals, you can do that as well. Okay, same things. All right, so that's our answer to numero uno there. We're expressing it in terms of pi. So there's our answer for that one. And then on number 2, it's a different, not a different shape. It's just a different amount of size. It's a balloon, and it has a diameter of 4. Okay, so instead of plugging in 4 into our formula, diameter is all the way across the circle. Thus, this particular sphere has a radius of 2. So 2 is the number that we're going to be plugging into our formula. And on this one, it wants us to use 3.14 and not approximate for pi. So it actually wants us to work it all the way out. So volume is, for a sphere, 4/3 pi multiplied by the radius to the third power. So we're going to plug in the place of pi, we're going to put 3.14. And in the place of r, we're going to put 2 because that's the radius if the diameter is 4 of this sphere. And we're going to cube it. This is what we're going to type into our calculator here. I like that shown work so you can see what to type in clearly. All right. So let's jump over to the calculator and type it in. We got 4/3. We already got that in there, so we can leave that as it is. So I'll delete this other stuff that's in front of it. Now, of course, let me just clear it all. 4/3. And then we're going to take that. We're going to multiply it by pi, 3.14. And then the last thing was to multiply all of that by our radius, which was 2, and raise it to the third power. And so there's our problem all worked out. And it looks like about 33.5 would be a pretty good way to round that off. So I'm going to go with 33.5. So the answer here is 33.5. Let's get our units straight. Make sure that we're on the right spot here. This is feet. And we are finding volume. So this is not just regular feet. This is cubic feet. So feet cubed. That is our answer. 33.5 cubic feet. And that's all that's on this part. So hope that was helpful. We'll see you guys tomorrow where we'll go back in time, apparently, and do lesson number 18 where we scale by 2 dimensions. See ya.